topic galamsey no sika no e won so ebi ekoho owia no ka say onne ne yere private account na abamu ne de wo mo set sa account no say e bia aban pesika bi hyehyehye ni manum ya no na mo de akoyi free sa account no individual person or sign ayima aban. All right, innocent.
Yeah.
Edu Boahen afa de love letter de abanie.
Mama menkasa you see agro wa manfo ni so kroma as we don't even need to be discussing some of these things but abanasa because makacho say you know we media no affizity on sensational news those kind of stuff as my brand can hear complete nonsense. This is your friend say in summer we need to just trash it and because in some kind of say nyansa be anim and I doubt say every no bar I'll be very surprised. Because me, I think it's one of those diversional taxes in as a form. Even let's say some now can I no correct.
Yeah.
That negate the fact that monies were stolen from state account. Doesn't negate the fact that he cloned state bank account, transfer money from this account to this account, and at the end of the day, no, we cannot find those monies. Isn't it the fact that he bought estate houses? He paid cash $1 million. Has he been able to tell us where he got those money from? And this is absolute nonsense. You see, we invest too much in emotional politicking. So if you know bad, don't deal with the fact. Sway the whole nation to the emotional line, you will survive. And that's exactly what is happening. At the end of the day, National Signals Brew. And your more finance opposition parties to buy is absolute nonsense. And the opposition party our own country. Be bold enough and see who you gave the money to. You understand? Even if you gave the money to somebody, even in the NDC, we don't care. All we know is that you stole money. And we want you to account. The other command, financing. That is not your business. You see, we are not living in a banana republic where monies can move from one account to any other account. Let's see the there is a legal framework where monies can go. Baby, anything outside your mandate, or your mind and now say you have willfully caused financial loss to the state. And this guy has foolishly caused financial loss to the state. All that he's doing is to implicate a lot of people because the very moment he's able to rope in NDC, communicators, me say, man, then we've balanced the equation. Then the focus will move from Boahen, then some more crime opposition. This is absolute rubbish that nobody should even consider. The questions I was is what we need to. Monies were given to you as director of National Signals Brew. Monies, you cloned and created a separate account bearing the same name. The criminal intent alone can land you in jail. Because you're not supposed to do that. Then the gentleman went ahead to transfer money from this account to this account. What is his explanation? Says state in here is emergency or what state account they will transfer from You see, we don't need to give oxygen of publicity to some of this nonsense. See, yes, I need party seminar. Me say on my way the because people will steal and will always find a way to spin narrative. Sabi about survival. Because never na brand na ya no crash as sabi onim nyansa. And na catch on because explanation ya obai. And did not just obeka. Sa attach ya na kan yo say why na kan yo. And you manufacture this nonsense, push it to the media, and you want reasonable men of conviction in society to say why are there. No, so what is the motive behind this particular thing? Or beka when ya kasa there why are there na? Because you are not supposed to be financing political party within the operations of Wene and Kahon. Again, are you supposed to finance your friends in Parliament? Parliament through the Sika movie, why not the moment? And you were doing as a for them. Sikana or the Kokoto estate in as a for them. I think that you see, this thing is absolute nonsense. Focusing in the Attorney General. So you see, there be a Ghana General Siciano. Adia ba kwa ma Ghana for to abati akufuado corruption. And Ghana need every single reasonable minded person out there is suspecting say that the Mahama government will be very radical, very vicious in dealing with some of these ruthless criminals. We don't care how you do it. Once you are within the remit of the law, you make sure that these criminals, these organized criminals, don't get away with their crime. It doesn't matter how they try to spin the narrative. In the coming days, they will be mentioning names specific, trying to accuse and implicate individuals. I don't care even if you give money to Mahama. I don't care. Because I never do want to this movie. What I say. So how you wasted those monies in as a forum? The Ghana for your name say yeah this ukojisika with the koto surveillance equipment. Sure. In the end, you didn't buy. Yeah. You ended up using the money to buy private properties. And I wouldn't send me Santino. You did all these transactions using bank account, doing transfer. When you know say this transfer no or always leave a back trace. Now say obia a crack to a primary school grab a boss and across no way. And this weak-minded person was the person mining. Friend said the whole intelligence organization. That tells you how porous this country is. If this weak-minded individual are and are now in charge of the national security, it tells you the kind of national security that we had at the time. They are just exposing themselves, and I'll be very surprised if attaching as a person went through this thing and let it out. You see why recent time people are losing a lot of respect for so-called lawyers. Because you see, a lawyer is not about the degree on paper. It is about the clarity of thought, the reasoning acumen that you have, and how you are able to decipher things. Who said, "Never way as a way a reasonable men of society will not agree to this, they will impugn it, and once they impugn it, our integrity will become a casualty." If you are a lawyer and you don't look at some of these things and you think it's just political, we can just spin and throw this thing out there, me, I will see you for who you are, because when I see you next time, I will never respect you. You understand? But unfortunately, the Ghana and Kwane Kaso will be school. They just also didn't want to answer. I just call them for certificate. The answer. But yeah, you can't be a learned or be a very intelligent. You don't need a certificate. When the person open their mouth and they're talking, you should be able to know, this guy is very smart, very intelligent. That is all that you go you. Now, yes, I just certificate do one answer. And that's no, we have to go between other nam. What are some American? We really need to be very serious in this country. Attorney General, when's the prosecution a delay? Because I Ghana for a form. Yeah, that's not how ready they are. Say abanye now issues of this nature, you toy with it. Now they don't go through with prosecution. Trust me. After 1 year, the government will get dirty. So they need to do everything to ensure that these criminals and several other criminals out there, we go after them. Yeah, it's not just this one. Now, make sky training as a form. Attorney General should make sure that because these people getting them prosecuted is so easy. Because even how they conceive those stupid ideas enough to land them in jail. For instance, yes, a sky train. Training the numbers as a cranny, and do more dama. Yeah, over Tenase as a board chairman, the pen and see papers. Oh, Matthias, Yamon Kofa, the Edinburgh William Numera, Chrome had trained from crying Nibi. So that silly conception of an idea Nankasa is enough to land you in jail. And at the end of the day, they went ahead, pumped $2 million into an offshore account. But see, the sky training your mind. Now, jail will easy. You see, we need to begin to allow people to suffer for their crimes. For instance, now make about the National Cathedral. It's one thing I buying a giant that I will never forgive them. Because we all saw from the beginning. Even young men in this country they don't hold PhD. They are not lawyers. They are not medical doctors. They could see from their house that this was a stupid initiative that the state was venturing into. We have and India, in terms of technology, rise to a point, and America, most of the companies are outsourcing most of their jobs to them in terms of IT. And do for a bank, me person me who me bank balance and as for now you route to call to somebody in India. Or never more responses in as for because those jobs in India has been outsourced. Telecommunication companies in as for if you want clarity, they will route the call to other places because these people have become technologically savvy. People are taking advantage. So we are Maya. You train your people to take advantage of the digital economy. The 12th century. That is why I told you, say, or your friends say, we are living in a digital world, and Yakofa Nipa, 12th century, and the Mobile and Woodin Sem. And the cathedral, some by a software as a form of mobile, a bank to and 58 Akoshiagu. I'm who say, yes, yeah, auditing us. a single silly decision that was made. Me, it is not about Sikana Yasino. Even ideas now, if it is foolish, we need to sanction people for that. And for me, that is what we need to do to set a stage. Say, so we are CEO, we are government, and as the or my baby shall say,
yeah.
You cannot be taking foolish decisions. Are those decisions, you know, our high-stake implication on the fortunes of this country and get away because you are CEO? We need to make sure that we punish people for their crimes. So, Attorney General, there. Or somebody, I'm telling you, because if he doesn't go through with this prosecution, every will be Ghana. I'm telling you, because the heat that will be coming, or regret is over here, your friend said. I'm telling you, because Ghanaians will never forgive him, and I know he will do. So I'm cautioning him. And I'm also urging him, he should go ahead. He should not lose focus. Some of these things coming up are absolute nonsense. Some of this nonsense being manufactured now be coming up, but he should be very careful, stay focused, and make sure a single person be our enough way on him will be prosecuted, because that is what Ghanaians want. They want the judiciary to be sanitized. Yeah. They want criminals to go to jail just to send a message to people within this government. Say, also that is the fate awaiting you. You see, over the years, people sitting afar are coming to a conclusion that there is a certain collusion between both political parties to steal. That is the impression out there. So if you don't do that, then it will go to your friend saying, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But we saw how these people stole with impunity, disrespected the people of this country. Make sure, say, even Ghana for more sika investment, these unwitting criminals cannot go scot-free.